Not all style is about appearance. Some of it is about connection, connection to memory, connection to lineage, connection to something that existed long before you and continues through you. Erykah Badu understands that because the way she dresses is not separate from who she is. It's part of a larger system, a way of thinking, a way of remembering, a way of being in the world. Most people look at Erykah Badu and see individuality, and that's there. But if you stop there, you miss what's actually happening because her approach to clothing isn't just personal, it's ancestral, and that changes everything. When Badu dresses, she's not just selecting pieces, she's assembling meaning. Head wraps, layered fabrics, jewelry, silhouettes that don't conform to a single cultural reference. Each element carries something: history, symbolism, intention. And when those elements come together, they don't just create a look, they create a presence, one that feels rooted, even when it's evolving. And to understand that presence, you have to understand where it comes from, because ancestral dressing doesn't begin with the individual. It begins with culture. Across African and diasporic traditions, adornment has always carried meaning. Head wraps weren't just aesthetic, they signified identity, status, spiritual alignment. Jewelry wasn't just decoration, it was protection, it was communication. It marked transitions, life stages, rites of passage. Clothing functioned as language, a visual system that told you who someone was, where they came from, what they carried, and even through displacement, through migration, through disruption, those systems didn't disappear. They adapted, they transformed, but they remained. And what you're seeing in Erykah Badu is not a recreation of the past. It's a continuation of it, not costume, but translation, a way of bringing those ideas forward into the present without disconnecting them from where they came from. And that requires awareness, because you have to recognize that what you're wearing isn't neutral. It comes from somewhere. And once you understand that, you stop treating clothing as surface. You start seeing it as structure, something that holds meaning, something that carries memory. And this is where Badu becomes distinct, because she doesn't just reference culture, she lives inside it. Her styling isn't occasional, it's consistent. It shows up in performance, in public appearances, in everyday presence. There's no separation between who she is and how she presents, and that's why it feels real, because it is. You're not looking at styling, you're looking at alignment. And alignment creates coherence, even when the elements shift, even when the combinations change. There's still a center, and that center is her understanding, her connection, her awareness of what she's participating in, because she pulls from multiple sources, different regions, different traditions, different aesthetics, but it never feels scattered. And the reason is intention. Everything is placed, everything is considered, everything is part of a larger conversation between past and present, between identity and expression. And when you start to see it that way, her style stops being something to copy and becomes something to study, because it's not about what she wears. It's about how she relates to what she wears. That's the difference. That's the shift from consumption to participation. And this raises a larger question. What would fashion look like if more people approached it this way? Not as trend, but as continuity, not as reaction, but as intention. Because right now, most people are disconnected from what they wear. They follow cycles, they follow visibility, but they don't always understand the relationship. And that creates instability, a constant search for something new, instead of a deeper understanding of what already exists. But ancestral dressing offers something different. It offers grounding, a way to build identity, that doesn't depend on constant change, but on deeper connection. And that doesn't mean looking backwards, and it means carrying forward, taking what has meaning and allowing it to evolve with you. And that's where this becomes powerful, because now fashion becomes not just expression, but reflection, not just visibility, but alignment, not just appearance, but awareness. And when that shift happens, everything changes, because now the goal isn't to be seen, it's to be real, to be connected, to be in relationship with what you wear. And that's what Erykah Badu represents, not just style, but continuity, not just individuality, but lineage, not just fashion, but practice. And that's why her presence stays with you, because it's not just visual, it's felt. And that feeling is rooted in something much deeper than clothing.